What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Amateur Hour TV, your source for more NBA and Raptors content. I say more because this is the second channel for Amateur Studios. The main channel, Amateur Hour Sports, has over 9,000 subscribers and does 3 professional Raptors videos every single week. But this channel, a little bit less professional. You get the raw opinions from myself on this one, and always concerning the NBA, especially concerning the Toronto Raptors. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you drop a like, and if you are liking along the way and you're new to the channel, then be sure to subscribe. We just hit 500 subscribers. We've been getting a lot of views in the most recent videos, so keep on giving that support. But today, I want to take you through everybody that the Toronto Raptors have given a workout to ahead of the draft. Now, disclaimer, if you're looking for full in-depth reports on every single one of these players, I unfortunately am not going to be able to provide that. I'm going to break down what I know from this list. I've done quite a bit of draft research. I've not been able to go through everybody because, well, I'm busy and there's a lot of names in this list. But we're going to kind of gauge from this list what the Raptors are looking to get out of this draft, what position they're looking to get out of this draft, and also what they could be looking to get from the undrafted players. Because there's a lot of guys here that are projected to not be drafted that the Raptors have looked at. So, starters, let's just go into the list here. I mean, there's a big list of players, as I mentioned. Can't really show all this in one shot, so I will go to this screen. I hope this is big enough for you to see. Make sure you're on full screen for this one. So it's in order by position, and over here does show the mock projections for all of the players from different sources. You got ESPN, Bleacher Report, Sports Illustrated, so on and so forth. A lot of the guys here, as you see, don't have any projections. Those are the guys who are projected to go undrafted. So for starters, Raptors, I mean, as always, they're going to be doing their homework. Good blend of positions here. A lot of guards, a lot of forwards, and also they're looking at centers as well. Only 2 true centers, one of those being Ismail Kamagate, which I actually did a full breakdown on yesterday on Amateur Sports if you would like to go check that out. But what this is kind of alluding to is that Raptors are completely keeping their options open. You know, we understand that, of course, you know, they have a keen interest on, you know, these two-way forwards, big wingspans. You know, they like their switchable players. So a lot of guys in the forward positions, especially the ones that are projected to get drafted, the bulk of players where they are looking to actually get a draft pick are players who are small forwards, switchable guys. So the small forward / power forwards and the shooting guard / small forwards. Actually, funny enough, didn't even look at a single small forward who is only a small forward for their draft pick at 33 overall, which I thought was a little bit funny. You know what the Raptors are looking for. As it comes to the guards, only actually looking at one point guard from somebody to go 33rd overall-ish, and that is Andrew Nembhard, who I also did a full breakdown on the Amateur Sports YouTube channel. And Hugo Besson's another one who's a point guard, but also can play as the shooting guard. So not a lot to be revealed from just this list here, obviously. I would like to say that, you know, there's not a lot of bigs being looked at here. And if the Raptors aren't looking at like a ton of different bigs, that kind of leads me to believe that they don't feel inclined to probably take one. You know, that's not everything, of course. Like, if they really like Jalen Williams, who I do, another full breakdown Amateur Sports for him. If they really like Ismail Kamagate, who I'm not particularly a fan of, but if they really like these guys, they could go for them. Ultimately, it is looking to me like they are kind of interested in one of these positions here. It's just like the Raptors, they probably want to test their luck with a player that, you know, their development team is more inclined to develop. Somebody who might fit within the Raptors system a little bit better. It's difficult to find really good bigs out of the draft, so, you know, I can understand the Raptors doing that. I'd like, to be honest, my number one guy is probably Jalen Williams, a power forward / center, who I'd really like to see them draft here. Another notable one for me is Josh Minott. He is such a wild card. Unfortunately, I probably won't have enough time to get a full video out on him, but he is such a wild card, so athletic, so many gifted traits athletically, super raw, but oh, I would love to see what the Raptors development team could produce with Josh Minott. Other guys to take note of, I would say Julian Champagnie, obviously brother of Justin Champagnie, who Raptors fans have grown to really like over the last season or so. And for Julian, probably not going to get drafted. I would be a little bit surprised if the Raptors did not sign him. As long as he goes undrafted, I'd be pretty surprised if the Raptors did not take him. Apparently, they've had their eye on him for a good amount of time, even just beyond him being related to a player on our current team. And also, Julian Champagne reportedly had a very good workout with the Raptors. So that is one to keep an eye on for the Raptors taking. An omission that I really don't understand, especially for a Raptors team looking for a center potentially, is Christian Koloko. That is a name that really high on my list for players to go 33rd overall to the Raptors. Had a great season with Arizona. He's a true center, but they gave Ismail Kamagate a workout, so they're clearly looking at centers. And to me, Koloko is better than Kamagate in like every way possible. So I don't understand leaving him out. The only things could be, number one, they're just not interested in the player, which wouldn't make any sense to me. Number two, they just feel like he's going to go ahead of the Raptors and winds up late first round, which is entirely possible. And maybe they've asked around and, he's probably not going to be available in that slot. But I feel like you should probably be doing your homework there, even if you're really not that interested in a player. Like, looking at more centers, they only looked at 2 bigs here. And again, that could just mean they're not interested in drafting any of them, 100%. But I definitely feel like that is somebody that they really should have looked at in that slot there. So that one's a little bit confusing to me. Another omission, in my opinion, is Bryce McGowan's. That is also another one that I've been pretty fond of in my pre-draft research. Bleacher Report, my least trusted source, admittedly, they actually have Bryce McGowan's projected to get drafted by the Raptors. As far as McGowan's goes, a lot of great tools athletically. He's a shooting guard. A lot of great tools athletically. Can work a little bit on polishing up his shooting game, but he's a very good prospect. I expect him to go late first round. I don't expect him to be available for the Raptors, but still, I think that would have made sense to give him a workout as well. So that's another guy that I really feel like the Raptors maybe should have kept tabs on. But again, it could just be somebody that they are not particularly interested in, and that's just kind of the way it's going to go. So as far as who the Raptors are going to draft, it's very difficult to tell. And you can only get so much out of using this list here. Ultimately, signs are kind of pointing to me, in my opinion, the Raptors going for a switchable forward. Another one is Wendell Moore, not on this list, from Duke. Very switchable forward. I'm not a particular fan of that prospect. A lot of Raptors fans have not been given a workout by the Raptors as well here. So, interesting. Again, just because you're not on the workout list, just because you didn't get a workout, doesn't necessarily mean the Raptors aren't going to draft you, but I would say it's unlikely. Like, I really find it hard to believe the Raptors would sign a guy or would draft a guy who they did not see in a one-on-one workout. So make of this list what you will. Everybody's going to have their favorite prospect. My favorite is Jalen Williams, projected to go right around where the Raptors are picking. Would really, really love if we could pick him up with a 33rd overall pick. But there's a lot of other guys I have an interest in, a lot of guys I don't really have an interest in, but we'll kind of see what happens here. Hugo Besson, somebody I'm not particularly interested as is Kamagate, but we shall see what happens on draft night. Overall, I think the takeaways you can get from this workout list here, probably looking more so at small forward, power forwards. Wouldn't be opposed to maybe going to another route, especially the best players available. And that's the thing. The Raptors are always going to have the best player available. They're going to have their big board, and if one guy that they've identified as a really good player manages to slip to them at 33, they're not going to hesitate to pick that guy no matter what the position is. They're going to make him work with the team. And to be honest, any position could probably work with the Raptors right now, especially for a guy who's developing. Probably will be spending some time in the G League anyway. So I'm excited for the draft. I really feel like there's a good player available for the Raptors to take. I really feel like there's a good player. The Raptors scouting does a good job, as they typically do. I really feel like there's an exciting player in this spot. Not like a franchise-altering player by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely somebody that could help out this team. Somebody that could be in the rotation. Maybe not from day one, maybe not from year one, but in the future, there's a possibility at 33 overall. And anything's possible when, Masai Ujiri and the Raptors scouting team are on the case, and when Nick Nurse and the Raptors development team is on the case. So that is it for today's video on Amateur TV. If you did enjoy, please drop a like to support the channel. When you drop a like, it lets YouTube know that people with similar interests to you might also enjoy this video. Therefore, it's recommended to those people. And make sure you're one of those new people checking out the channel for the first time. Or if you're an amateur sports watcher, just diving into the second channel, you got to be subscribed to this one as well. We just hit 500 subs. subs. Videos have been getting a good amount of reception in viewership, so that's great. On a road to 1,000 subscribers, that would be, oh man, having 2 channels in the 4 digits would be so cool. You can help us get there, and hope you enjoyed. We'll see you again next time for another video on Amateur Hour TV.